Hello and welcome to a training presentation with SportsBoard. I'm Sandra Walter, one of the Assistant Commissioners here in Indiana and responsible for our officials department. SportsBoard is a digital evaluation application right from your phone or device that we think is a solution to our recruitment and even more specifically to the retention of officials. Our issue in Indiana is that we've had a loss of 1,700 officials over the last 3 years. Falling numbers translate for us, Indiana student athletes, losing athletic competitions. And loss of those athletic competitions translate for us as a loss of valuable life lessons associated with education-based athletics. Who does this affect? In Indiana, over 160,000 student athletes each year. The resolution? Bolstering recruiting and retention efforts in Indiana. Additional communication and interaction with our newly recruited officials. We've implemented a mentor-mentee program. This program includes a free license to all new officials, and it's also meant to build those relationships between a new mentee and a veteran official as his or her mentor. With this mentor-mentee program, evaluation and feedback is required to maintain that connection between the two. Improved retention of our new officials is the hope. And offering this digital evaluation for mentees from their mentors is what SportsBoard is going to mean to us. It includes specific topics with a numeric rating. It includes audio notes to the mentee. It includes video feedback, all of which is deposited into a digital locker, which is always readily available for the mentee to go back and review his or her evaluation at any time. Again, we think a good solution to the issue is SportsBoard. So welcome to the actual training of our SportsBoard application. We're going to start with the actual digital locker first and then move on. So what we've done is just created a demonstration locker for you today to take a look at. Mark Hopper is a current official of ours, but just to give you an idea of what this digital locker looks like on the mentees end of it, what they receive as far as their evaluation. And so again, this is a true mentor in Marcus Deborah. We appreciate him volunteering to work with us here. But this is the actual locker. And we'll point out a few things here as we go through what the evaluation looks like. First of all, we're going to go through what resources are available for officials while we've got this real estate, this white area just to the right of the officials resource area, for us to post things in there for our officials, our new officials, should we feel like that is necessary. So again, we're going to click on our resources here and a couple things that we've pasted there just to let you take a look at them. The first one we're going to look at is a direct link to the myihsaa.net, your membership portal that you're very familiar with. And Kenny Yacht, yours comes up because we acted as you last. We also have posted a mentor and mentees handbook for them to work through. And then obviously we posted our officials handbook for any new and or veteran official to take advantage of that. So a few things there within the locker at a mentee's disposal. While they're looking at their evaluation, there's also an area for some other things. We go back up to the accounts tab in the far right as you see, to click it to get back to the original locker. And let's view the actual evaluation. So here we are with our mentee. He needs or she needs to get their picture in there. But there's a metrics, sport specific, and we're in basketball right now. So if there's a 1 to 5 numeric metrics for 6 to 8 to 10 different key components, accurate and consistent calls, primary versus secondary area. Are we calling in our area? Or are we calling out of our area? Are we ball watching outside of our area? So those things, as well as notes, can be posted here. you're going to notice some consistencies with metrics across sports, but we also give a key, a guide down below. A 1 is not observed all the way to a 5 that exceeds current standards. This is completely customizable, and if we wish to change those in the future, we certainly can do that. Back to the locker, a nice feature is that there's the ability to take video of your mentee as a mentor. And they're deposited right in the mentee's locker. And in this case, the night I went out to do our demo, I videoed Mark. And if we give this just a second, there are 3 different videos of Mark and his work that night. We want to be careful here. We've shut off the volume, but it will pick up volume as well, which is nice. You can give them instruction while you're videotaping, which again is really nice for your mentee, as opposed to having to take notes as the mentor. So again, the video that you capture also picks up the audio. So you can certainly comment on positioning. There's a clip in here where Mark serves as a great partner because his partner forgot the number when he called the foul. So again, probably one of the better aspects of the app. Another aspect, if you don't like to take notes, type them, you are able to record notes right from your phone, your device, your tablet, which is really nice. And so you're looking at an example here where I recorded notes for Mark as opposed to typing them in, which I find very valuable because I'm not a typer on my phone necessarily. But again, that component is there within the app as well and accessible to the mentee on the back half of within their locker. In a moment here, we'll go back to the locker to take a look at one more facet. So again, up in that accounts, click on the accounts to get back to the locker. And I don't believe I took a picture that night of Mark, but that capability is in there as well. I think I likened it to, we probably all could stand a picture or two of when we're in a timeout situation. How are you presenting yourself on the floor as an official? Are you standing at attention on the block on that full timeout? Or are we talking to one another? Are we over talking to a coach, which is certainly something we should not be doing? But those things are visible in a quick picture to your mentee to indicate what you do or don't want them to be doing. We're going to transition now to the app. And this is what it looks like from your phone or your device. This is on my cell phone. So as you see, we've got basketball, swimming, and wrestling. We've created a demo for training purposes today. So we're going to click into the demo, and we're going to show you how that information from Mr. Devereaux, if you remember, he was our mentor. This is how he accessed to get into the system, and those red lines indicate that there's been data collected. So we're going back to our mentee to actually show you how the information got in there. So here's our mentee, Mark Hopper today, but for our demonstration purposes. You're going to notice a pool level. Our mentees have a pool 1, 2, and 3. By the 3rd year, we hope to graduate them out. We've also, and this is totally customizable, if he's in year 3, he's going to turn green. Green is our color for our mentees 3, so that we know that eventually we'll graduate them out of the system. And then Mr. Devereaux will pick up another mentee or 2 along the way. But you can certainly elevate your mentees as you go through your year, either by 1st, 2nd, and 3rd evaluation, or keep them as mentee 1, 2, and 3 as they go through their years. And again, we're keeping our mentees for 3 years because our data indicates that if we do, we will retain them for much longer. Be careful with the trash can, the delete button here. That will let you delete your mentee. So we're going to answer no there. But be careful in the system that the ability to delete your mentee exists there. And we need to caution you with that. So going through the bottom, we're going to click through each of the existing opportunities for data collection here. And you're going to see the pointer kind of show you each one as we go through. And we're going to start with, now you're in your general. We're going to go to notes. Should you want to type, notes can exist, just an overall note can exist here. And again, will be deposited in their locker when you're finished. The metrics, the 1 through 5 that you saw, this is how that's captured. We're in basketball. And again, that accurate and consistent calls was our first. You'll tap above it in order to see exactly what that says. It's tough on a phone, difficult on a phone to see the extent of it. Appearance and fitness level is another metrics that we choose to use. And again, in Indiana, we will see this consistently across every sport, actually. So you'll give your mentee a 1 through 5 rating as you see fit. If you give them a 5 and then decide that that's not exactly where you want to be, certainly can change that at any time as the mentor working through this evaluation. Again, we're in basketball with Mr. Bontrager, but the sports associated with a mentee are along the top, and you simply scroll, swipe left or right to get to that. Mr. Bontrager could be a baseball official as well in the spring, still with his same mentor with Mr. Devereaux. But in this case, we're going to stick to our basketball. The media, we mentioned that you can capture notes, and this is the area in which you do that. You simply press record right on the face of your phone. I took 2 different notes for Mr. Bontrager the other night, and they are deposited right there to play within his locker. The video, those 3 videos that we saw, deposited right here. You hit the plus button. You capture directly from the camera, or go into your library if you already captured some video and want to upload it. Maybe you saw something but you weren't in the app, so you quickly took some video and now want to place it in his or her locker. So those are the advantages of a video, and that's how we capture. Very easy, like I said. You simply go into the app, and in this case, it was Mr. Devereaux. So Mr. Devereaux, as the mentor, finds his name, clicks on that, opens it up. He sees his mentees listed and goes from there. Once you're finished, your mentee gets an email notification, and it looks like this, where they are able then to go into their digital locker to take a look at their evaluation. Wrestling, let's take a look at this. We've got Tony McWilliams. Mr. Faulkner is his mentor. Again, the ability to, this is a second year, a mentee in the second year. The observations in the tournament, we're going to explain to you a little bit later in the presentation what our office, the IHSAA, will be using those. But this application is multifaceted. So the mentor-mentee program is what we're talking through now, but observations and tournament applicants and tournament observations, certainly a part of what we will be using this for as well in Indiana. We want to be sure, and here in a moment you're going to see that now that we've moved to wrestling, we're going to make sure that when we capture the evaluation that we use the metrics that is specific to wrestling. We're going to get to that here in a second as we move through the presentation. And evaluating Mr. McWilliams, he's the mentee in his 3rd year. Right now we see a metrics, and we're showing you the metrics again. We're showing you the metrics for basketball, but we know Tony is a wrestling official. So we'll get to wrestling. Tap on wrestling. Metrics specific to wrestling will show up for you. We start with the weigh-in process in Indiana. How did that go? Was he prepared? Wrestling notes up there in the corner can be taken as well. Communication, probably consistent across. Positioning on the mat, certainly specific to wrestling. So again, we just need to make sure that when we're in the sport of wrestling, we're using the metrics specific to wrestling. And that's what is being demonstrated for you here. Again, that is simply a scroll, a push, or a pull with your finger across your device.
So we want to show you quickly here, we've captured live data. Andy Simpson is a mentor for us, and Anne-Marie Keller is a mentee for him, and he was observing her just the other night. Anne-Marie is in her 3rd year, is where we've placed her, but again, you're able to move her into a specific pool as her mentor to indicate where she's ready, if she's ready. So Andy went in, took 4 different videos in this case of Anne-Marie, of her work the other night, and deposited them here. He actually took them first and then uploaded them on December 8th. December 8th is a Sunday, but he uploaded them into her file after the fact. Either can be done. And as a mentor, if you're out watching and can't get the app to load or what have you, simply take the video and you can upload it later. It's very nice. You can also share out of this app. And I shared this with a current assigner in the area because they were looking for a couple of good young officials. And so I shared this actual video out of the app and to the assigner. It's an MP4. It's easy to pull that MP4 video out of the app and email that to anybody who's requested it, should they request. So just another nice feature of the app, and Anne-Marie gets a little more exposure than she bargained for. She got an evaluation from Andy Simpson, a veteran official for us in this board of basketball, and also I've shared that with an assigner. And on the back end, as administrators, if you're talking state associations, we do have the ability to see that on the back end and share that with an assigner should they ask. Or look at it ourselves again as we're talking through tournament assignment. So some very nice features with this application, not just feedback to our mentee, which is first and foremost and why we considered this product to begin with. That video feedback, voice feedback, note feedback, metrics, and then the ability will be for Anne-Marie in her second evaluation to compare the two. How have I improved? Have I improved? Where have I fallen maybe? And the metrics, that 1 to 5, should give her a pretty good idea. Again, this is all constructive criticism, meant to encourage your mentee, and certainly we want to select the correct mentors for this as well. From a state association side too, if a mentor is not conducting evaluations, and we can see all of that from the app or from the back-end database, then probably we haven't found the right mentor for our program. We mentor 250 is our number in Indiana as far as free licenses to mentees. That's our budget, our line item in our budget. And if we've got mentors who aren't conducting evaluations on their mentees, giving them feedback, and then our mentees not being retained, we in essence have wasted a $50 license. And we need to find a new mentor perhaps that's going to do what we need them to do and stay connected to that mentee of theirs. So a lot of useful information that comes out of this application as we move forward through the season, certainly. And then make considerations for upcoming seasons. So this concludes the demonstration of our app, and we'll move into a final few talking points before we end our presentation. And again, we appreciate your time.
Now where do we go? How do we get started? We download the app. Go to your application store and punch in SB3 to download the appropriate app. And this screenshot from my phone, it's already open because I've already done so. I've already downloaded the app. But to get started, download the app. Critical question once we get started. Constant evaluation. What are the issues for our mentors and our mentees? What are they encountering? What are the obstacles? What are the hurdles? Can we improve it? Technology chairs. Assist with demonstrations at your association meetings. Does this look like for your association once a season where you collect every sport? Or do we go to individual sport meetings and conduct a demonstration? Communication with the IHSAA office from the association leadership will be imperative as well. And please remember that the IHSAA will serve as a constant resource as we launch SportsBoard. IHSAA utilization, how will we use it? 3 different facets right now. Mentor-mentee program we've already talked through. Digital feedback for each mentee. As additional evaluations are conducted on mentees, he or she will be able to compare one evaluation to the other to be sure that they're growing as an official, that they're improving. Observations, footballs, crew evaluations as we move into the fall of 2020. This application will be used for those football evaluations and observations. Tournament evaluations. The IHSAA office has an applicant pool for each tournament. We demoed this in the fall and it worked really well. So as we move into winter and spring, we'll use this same app to evaluate applicants for our tournaments. Associations. What are we currently offering association members for their membership fee? Should we be offering peer evaluations through SportsBoard? We can set up each association such that every member is readily available in the app. The IHSAA office, again, will serve as a resource should this resonate with your association. But we feel it imperative that not just new officials, but even our most veteran officials could use feedback from a peer. This can be accomplished through the SportsBoard app as well. We'll talk more offline about this with our leadership group and our mentors, but is this something that associations would like to consider? Thank you for taking your time to take part in the presentation of our SportsBoard, our digital evaluation application. We feel it imperative to give our newer officials and our veteran officials, as we just talked through, some digital feedback, a digital locker, if you will, in order to store that feedback so that you can return to it at any time, so that improvement and growth as an official can continue. Again, thank you for your time. We'll look forward to working with you on the field, the court, the pool, and the mat. Take care.